copyright starts or would accrue to you as a creator of a work once you have produced that work.
If you are new to our YouTube channel, please do subscribe down below. Turn on your notification button so whenever we upload a new video, you can easily access them.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Serial Lawyer. Like I promise you, we'll keep bringing interesting topics, and today we'll have a very fantastic person in the building, Maduka Rekeme. Maduka is a fantastic lawyer. He works here in Lagos. He's a big-time lawyer. Gets Maduka has been quite difficult. But I'm happy he's here. So, Maduka, I hope you want to say hi to the audience yourself.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Maduka, you're not talking about your big law firm, and yes.
Okay, I am the managing partner of Elix LP. Elix LP is a corporate law firm, and we're involved in a lot of intellectual property law work in terms of dispute settlements, merchandising, and the rest of that. And we also do a lot in information and communication technology, ICT, as well as other corporate and commercial matters.
Okay, Maduka, today we're going to be doing something very, very interesting. We already promised this audience we're going to do them fantastic talk. So today we're doing copyright in Nigeria. So we want to know a little bit of copyright. What do you think copyright is in Nigeria?
Okay, well, copyright refers to the protection and all the protection and rights given to people who create, they engage in creative works and they create something creative. So the law has given some protection in terms of the exploitation of their work, the use of their work, and exclusive exclusive use of those works to sell them or even ask other people to make derivatives of them. So there are certain categories of works that the law has given this protection to the creators of those works. So those works, as well as the rights and protection given to those works, that's what we refer to as copyright.
Okay, Maduka, can you give us a list or group of this kind of work, so maybe our viewers out there can know what kind of work we're referring to, because there are different creative kind of work. So what kind of work are we looking at? Okay,
first of all, before we get to these categories of work, we should note that copyright protects original works. It doesn't protect ideas.
Okay.
So when is a work original? A work is deemed to be original when it's deemed to have been made by the person, and then it has been fixed in a permanent form or a tangible form of expression. So works like this are works like artistic works, That's where you have photographs, paintings, and the rest of them. Another of those work is sound recordings.
Okay.
Then apart from that, you also have musical recordings. Okay. And besides that, you also have cinematographic films. Okay. That will refer to your movies, your documentaries, and the rest of them. Then also broadcasts. They're also protected by copyright. So you have your news broadcasts, you have your football matches, and the rest of that. Those things enjoy copyright protection. Then the last category of it will be literary works. When you have literary works, you refer to your novels, your textbooks, and your newspapers and the rest of them. They enjoy copyright protection. So what the law basically says is, once people create these works as original works, and that these people are entitled, they fix it in a medium of expression, these people are entitled to use those works, and they're entitled to sell them exclusively. And if you want to make use of those works to produce anything, you have to get their permission. And these people can also sell the works to people. When they die, they can pass it on as their inheritance to their heirs or to their family members. That's basically what copyright is about. So it allows them to exploit this work. They've expended creative energy making all this up, and so the law will give them that time, a period of time for them to maximize the use of the work in terms of making sales of it, giving out a license, adapting those work into different versions and forms. For example, I write a novel. The law allows me that I should be the one to sell the novel, I can adapt my novel into a movie, and from making it into a movie, I could sell and make money, or I could adapt it into a stage play and do stage performances. And besides that, I can also translate it into languages, or cause somebody to translate into another language and sell in another language. So I could do a lot of things with my work. And I could also say, okay, I'm tired of enjoying this. I want to sell this, my right to this work, to another person, use that right. Or I could even use it and say, okay, by the end of my life, I'll transfer all my right to this particular work to either my wife or my child, or to charity, or that a company should continue to exploit it and give the money to charity. Basically, that's what copyright is about.
Well, you know, what you've given us right now is very intense. You'll be able to mention the kind of creative works that can be protected by copyright. For reference purposes, I would love you to just list some of this work again so that our viewers out there can have their mind fixed on them. So we're looking at one.
Okay, I think the first one will be artistic work.
Artistic work. So artistic work.
Artistic works is
two,
number one. Then number two will be sound recordings.
Sound recording number
Then
two.
number three will be musical works.
Musical works number three. Number four.
Number four will be broadcasts.
Broadcast.
Then number five is literary works.
Literary work number five. Then I think there's a sixth
Number
one.
six is cinematographic works.
Yes.
That's cinematographic films.
So there are 6 group or categories of creative works that can be protected by copyright. Maduka, interestingly, when you look at copyright, a lot of people don't know. Can copyright be transferred? Can you transfer copyright from yourself to like a different person, organization, or some other person? Is it possible to?
Why
transfer
not? Why not? You see, when we talk about general intellectual property, it's just like your physical property. You have a house or you have a land. So copyright, there's a species of intellectual property rights. And just like I can transfer my house to somebody, I can sell my house, you know, my child can inherit my property, the same way you can transfer your copyright in a work to somebody else. In fact, the same way I can rent out or lease out my house to somebody to use for some time and pay me rent. You can also do that in respect of your works, you know, that are protected by copyright. So, for example, I wrote a novel. I could sell the rights to distribute my novel to a company. I could say for 10 years, publish and distribute this, but you have to pay me 10 million naira for it. So after 10 years, I've given them a license to use my novel for 10 years. After 10 years, my work returns back to me. I could give it to another company. I could say, oh, these people didn't market my work very well. I could give it to another company. Or I can even say I sell it totally. I hands off, I divest every of my right in this work to you. Sell, but pay me 20 million naira for it. So I could do that. I could even give it out as a gift. I say I'm giving out this as a license to you, you know, for free. Maybe whatever you make out of it, use the proceeds to maybe maintain a charity. I could also say towards the end of my life that, okay, I wrote this book, I produced this movie, you know, I produced this particular record, or I composed a particular record, that my copyright in this song should, after my death, and my will, I can say I want to transfer this to my first son or my last child or to any other body, any other person. That's the way it works. So it's copyright, you know, materials that are copyrighted. They are like just like you have a house. It's same with copyrights and other intellectual property rights. You can sell them, you can license them out, you can give them out as a gift. They can be inherited by your heirs at your death.
A lot of people might even want to find out that do we have to register these rights, this intellectual property? Can we register them, and why should we register them? Are they something we can easily say we don't have to register them? Can we utilize them if we don't register them, or do we have to register them?
Okay, well, under the law, the truth of the matter is that copyright starts or would accrue to you as a creator of a work once you have produced that work. So registration might not be necessary in law, but it's advised. Well, the reason is why you register registration, because we have the Nigerian Copyright Commission where you can go and register your work, and you know you get what it does is that it gives a notice to the world that within the government registry somebody has registered a certain work for you at so and so date and time. Now, another reason why registration is good is, aside giving notice to the world, is that copyrights are mostly territorial. when we talk about copyrights, they apply to particular territories because laws differ. But at the international stage, there are conventions whereby each countries or countries can come together and say, okay, your copyright in this country, once you register it, we protect in our own country. So it will be safe for you if you register your work with the Nigerian Copyright Commission. When you register, you have like a government certificate saying that this particular work was registered at so and so date and time. So with that, you can be able to fight infringement of your copyright in a foreign country with your certificate, especially a country that subscribed to a convention that Nigeria subscribed to, where they say we protect, we have a bilateral relationship to protect copyright registered in Nigeria in our own country. So it's advised, like I said, it's really advised that you register your copyright. And another reason why registration is good is you can easily prove that you produce a particular work first. When we're talking about originality, it's easier for you to prove that, okay, I registered my work on so and so date, and somebody has produced a work that is similar to mine after 2 years. There is no way, this is the date he produced his, this is the date I registered mine. So mine was first in time, and the work is so similar, he used my materials, he did it, so he cannot say he didn't breach my copyright. So for ease of proving that there has been copyright infringement, and also to notify the world that this particular work is registered and owned by a certain person, we advise strongly that you contact a lawyer and get your work properly registered with the Nigerian Copyright Commission.
So Maduka, can many ideas right now enjoy copyright protection?
Well, ideas are not protected by copyright.
Okay.
For your idea to be protected by copyright, you have to put it in a tangible form of expression.
So it has to be in a fixed and permanent form.
Fixed and permanent form.
Very important.
Very, very important. But then I have to warn.
Okay.
I know copyright does not protect ideas, but it doesn't mean you should steal people's ideas. Intellectual property is very big and wide. So copyright may not protect ideas, but there are other intellectual property rights that protect ideas, so that if you steal people's ideas and use it, they can still sue you under those rights.
Like trade secrets.
Like trade secrets, you have trade secrets, you have breach of confidential information. If you do that, people can maintain an action against you, and they can get the value of what you stole from them by using that idea.
So the fact that copyright does not protect many ideas does not mean you can go out and steal people's ideas. So like they say, every beautiful thing that has a beginning also has an ending. Maduka, can we say copyright lasts forever, or is there a lifespan regarding copyright protection?
Well, copyright certainly does not last forever.
Okay.
And there's a duration of copyright, or a duration for copyright protection of a work, and it differs from country to country and from work to work. But in Nigeria, generally, copyright usually lasts for the lifetime of the creator. That's
okay.
human creators for their lifetime, and most times 70 years after their death. So throughout the lifetime of the creator of the work, he enjoys copyright protection. But then, if the person dies, then 70 years after their death, their copyright in the work ceases. But where you have a work that is produced by either the government or a company, not an individual. So what usually happens is that generally, copyright protection will last for 70 years from the period of time that work was produced. But then, like I said, this is the general position, but for some certain works, the position is not the same. So I would always advise people to always contact an intellectual property lawyer to advise you properly on the duration of your copyright, particularly your movies, your music. It differs. Because sometimes you can have a situation where copyright is jointly owned. There are two authors or two co-producers.
Yes.
So that when you have such situations, it may vary. There are some variations that can happen.
But that's something very interesting, which is the fact that when they are co-owners or co-authors, or just like you just pointed out there, that the copyright will begin to actually roll at the point when the last author dies.
Yes.
So that is, let's just let the viewer know about that part. So Maduka, let's move forward from that. You already said it's good to get your copyright with the commission, register for them and all of that. Moving forward from all of this, what advice do you have for people outside regarding copyright and their works?
Okay, my advice is, first of all, I would love the society to be very enlightened, not just about copyright protection, but intellectual property rights generally. As a society, we don't respect intellectual property. People breach people's copyrights with impunity in Nigeria. So I would prefer we are more educated, more aware, and we respect copyright. Then secondly, I would also love, creative people, artists, writers, music and movie producers to be well informed about copyrights. Copyrights and intellectual property is actually a gold mine. Just like I said, you have real estate, you have real property, you have intellectual property. So it's actually in other countries there are gold mines which are mined and exploited economically. I would really love for creative people to, take more interest. Understand, if you're a music artist, before you sign any record contract, try to find out who owns the copyright to the music you are producing under that record label, under the record deal you're signing. As a producer, to do the same thing. As a musical artist, for your shows, for your performances and all, these things are things you can exploit and make money even after the performance is over. What about the video recordings? So let us take more interest in it. If we are more informed about this, I think the issue of protection and proper exploitation of it can be done. There are lots of professionals who can help you. You have lawyers, you have even intellectual property valuators. There are people who can look at a musical composition and tell you that this is how much this can sell for maybe a period of 10 years to 20 years and the rest of that. So we have a lot of professionals, in respect of copyright and other intellectual property rights. I would advise that please contact them, try to make use of them, make use of lawyers. That's my advice for creative people. And so for everybody out there, please respect people's copyright and intellectual property rights. Please. Thank you very much.
Well, we had Maduka discuss copyright in Nigeria. Maduka, thank you for coming. It was a swell time here for us. We had fun. We'll be discussing copyright. Some of the bullet points you should remember take home should be that whether you register your copyright or not, your creative ideas, a creative person is deemed to have copyright to their work as long as it's in a permanent or fixed form. So that is one of the takeaways you should have from this discussion. You should also know as to the duration of time, 70 years after the death of that person, but for the lifetime of that person. And for corporate bodies, you should know they have 70 years after the creation of that job. Then also for transfer, you can transfer copyright to some other person, family, friends, to anybody you feel like transferring, just like any other property, copyright can be transferred. So we've had this for a time. Maduka, please, thank you for coming. We hope to have more of you here. So thank you. So we'll see some other time again. Stay blessed.
For the duration of an author, throughout the duration of the life of an author, that work, he's going to enjoy copyright protection in respect of his work. Then at the death of the author, that is distracting.